Thank you so much for coming here all the way long.
My pleasure,
This really means a lot for us, having people from the same industry, right? So first, let's talk about bit about yourself. How did you get into fashion? How did the spark of fashion come into, right?
So I'm Adriana and I'm currently studying at NIFT. I'm in my third year. Spark of fashion, I would say, was always there. I always knew what I wanted from the beginning. It was a little bit of a journey to get here, but wouldn't have had it any other way.
Yeah.
So currently I'm doing fashion design. So I'm getting my bachelor's of fashion design. And I'm also doing like a side subject of fashion technology. So I feel like all that I've heard in this event was quite relatable. It was like people are talking my language. And quite interesting.
Great. And let's talk about the platform what we launched today. Since you again come from the fashion ecosystem, you have been exposed to the supply chain, the fashion education, and brands as well, right? So how do you think the sampling platform which we launched today, how is it gonna affect the industry?
So I don't think students who would be doing fashion design would know as much, but since I've taken that extra subject, right? So all of the sampling and everything, the entire process, I felt like it would reach out to a bigger crowd. So I really appreciated that about the website. I didn't realize that it is going to be launched today at 12. So I kept searching it. I was like, this looks really interesting, the entire. And the interface was very user-friendly because you ran us through the entire step-by-step process. So even a layman could understand how to get there. And you also explain, like, you can either put an entire tech pack, so somebody who has knowledge can upload that, as well as just a Pinterest photo or a photo you have downloaded would be good enough, which was pretty great. I feel like once the website is launched, I can check for it more.
Definitely.
And you said that like the Apex Labs will be they would give reviews based on what
exactly. So what happens is you place a request to make the sampling. So not every sample is feasible.
Correct.
Right? Not everything can be done. So our sampling team will be sitting there to review the sample and to give the reviews on how fast the sample can be made, and if there is any changes, suggestions, and what is the cost, the lead time, and everything. So we have a team working from 10 to 7. So in between, if you are placing a request, within 3 hours, you're going to get a call back, or the whole picture of when you're going to get the fabric, products, and things like that. If it's on non-working time, in the first 3 hours of the day, you're going to get a feedback. So the whole the process of why we do this is, it's not just to make a sample, give it off. At the end of the day, the sample should be usable, right? We know how much we spend on the samples, all the proto samples. We spend a lot, time, money, and energy, and it's not sustainable as well. So at the end of the day, the whole motto is, whatever the samples we are making, try to be as sustainable as possible. I know sustainable, we can't use a sustainable word in fashion here, but still, at least try to.
That's the big S word that everyone is
Exactly. So at least small contribution from our end, bring down the wastage there, and make sure this is production friendly. Not every people will be technical, and founders should not have. It's not like founders should have all the knowledge required, to run garment science and all these things, right? So maybe they're coming from a very different field.
Would this help out brands that are already established as well?
Yes. We already have a lot of corporate clients who are getting this thing done with us.
Okay. So you all have your own manufacturing, like a whole system in set?
Exactly. So we have our 3 units in Bangalore and 1 unit in Tirupur, and we manufacture for Aditya Birla, Arvind, and even few D2C brands like Snatchwear Rabbit, and a lot of things like that. That's our major business. That's our business from past 30 years. Apex Fashion Lab, it happened. I came out of NIFT, and I was with, as I said in the story, I was sitting with few people. That's when I found that there is something which could be done here in this.
To bridge that gap.
Yeah. So since I come from that ecosystem itself, since I have been exposed to corporates, D2C brands, fashion education, and things like, and actually the founders who are not from fashion background. So I thought, okay, why can't all this be bridged? That's how Apex Fashion Lab was born. And 6 months down the line, we are launched sampling. Obvious problems, right? Even if there's jury and you want to get your samples done, it's a huge task. So it's going to solve not just the problem for people who are just getting into the industry, but also who are already established in the industry, be it D2C brands or corporates.
So once the sampling is done, through your manufacturers itself, they'll be able to carry the entire process.
If they want to, we'll be more than happy to manufacture them. So, and one more thing, what we are trying to do here is build an ecosystem for people. If you see, there are a lot of mill owners, testing
Yes.
labs, and marketing people and things like that. So people, once they come here, don't need to do hustle and bustle. Don't run here and there. Don't do trial and error. Right? Don't waste your time and money and
You
efforts.
have an
in the
entire
trial.
team in set.
Exactly. The entire team is set for you to guide, and obviously at the end of the day, the brand success is all dependent on the founder, right? Being very brutally honest here, because seeing a lot of people, we see a lot of brands, right?
Yes.
Every day. The support is something which will be going from whatever the support is going from Apex, right? That's one side of it. That's one side of the story. I was just speaking to a few founders as well. One person was telling the story is going to begin now because they're going to launch today, and this is when the actual story begins.
True.
Right? So very grateful to be in this journey, and yeah, it's going on.
Really great event you all have put together.
Thank you so much. Maybe next year, the next event we'll be having more people coming up.
Yeah,
from that,
definitely, hopefully, yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in. And one last word, you have been in one of the best fashion colleges in the country, and when and complementary incubation program like this comes out, obviously the knowledge and the exposure which the college is giving definitely not matchable, right? Though no two words about that. So apart from this, what do you feel, how will Apex fit in this fashion education space where entrepreneurship is our major motto?
I think by starting off, maybe a little few classes or just a few talks can be given, because now I am aware, but I wasn't. Even walking into it, I wasn't really sure of what I should expect coming to the event.
Yeah.
But definitely exceeded all expectations, I truly enjoyed it. So I think about entrepreneurship, definitely the NIFT space at least. My classmates also, I feel like they could really use all of this information, all of this exposure to such like big characters in the game, which would be great. So I think it would fit quite well into the educational space.
Great.
And I'm looking forward to it actually.
Great. We'll stay in touch and we'll see how can we take this up, right? So thank you so much for coming. I think you'll enjoy the brand launch pitch as well.
Very excited for it.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming. Yeah.